Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
A charger for a car battery may need a car owner more often than he would like. For example, a long car repair often ends up with a discharged battery and a search for a battery charger. Therefore, a device for charging the battery will not be superfluous in the arsenal of a thrifty car enthusiast. Make a charger for a car battery with your own hands is best from a switching power supply unit, UPS, also called an electronic transformer. Of course, there is a device for auto-charging and simpler than this, but they, as a rule, have more noticeable disadvantages than the proposed auto-charger. The simplest homemade charger can be assembled from a resistor, a voltage-quenching resistor, and a rectifier diode. However, it has disadvantages, among which are the lack of two things needed for operation: auto-charger voltage stabilization, galvanic isolation from the 220V mains. If the lack of stabilization does not particularly interfere with the charging of the battery, the lack of galvanic isolation from the power grid can be dangerous to life, and in a more favorable outcome for the health of the battery. An electronic transformer with a capacity of at least 60 watts. A power cord with a plug for 220V. Copper enameled lead with a diameter of 0.8 mm. Variable resistor with a resistance equal to the nominal value of the feedback resistor in the electronic transformer. For diodes KD213. One-sided foil textolite 1 mm thick. Wires with clamps for connecting the battery. An enclosure from an old computer. If you do not have a ready-made case, you can make it yourself from any suitable materials. When making the case yourself, provide for ventilation of the device. To do this, you need to make several holes at the top of the side walls of the case. It will not hurt, and a fan at the bottom of the back wall of the case. Make a case with your own hands is better from dielectric materials. Even thin sheets of MDF are suitable for this. Attach the walls of the case between each other, and to the bottom can be self-tapping screws, screwing them into the aluminum corners. This design is good because it simplifies repair, as it is easy to disassemble and assemble. And in case of wall breakage, the repair of the case is reduced to its replacement. Modification of the converter: lack of adjustment of the output voltage, and with it the charging current, pulsed output voltage with a frequency of 15 kHz, low output voltage, not more than 10 V. Therefore, some of these should be eliminated first. The repair of the device will consist of the following operations: rewinding the secondary winding of the RF transformer to increase the output voltage, adding a rectifier, replacing the constant feedback resistor with a variable resistor of the same nominal value. Making a car battery charger: remove and disassemble the transformer. Wind the secondary winding. Wind a new secondary winding of 14 turns with a quadruple folded enameled wire 0.8 mm. Solder the transformer in place. Using a soldering iron and tweezers, remove the feedback resistor from the board, connect in its place the variable resistor fixed on the front panel of the case. This will be the regulation of the charging current. In order to be able to make repairs to the switching power supply in case of failure of the latter, you need to at least know its device. Device pulse power supply. The operation of a UPS is fundamentally different from the functioning of a transformer power supply, and repairing it is more difficult than repairing a PSU with a power transformer. The pulse power supply unit converts a 50 Hz sinusoidal mains voltage into a sequence of rectangular pulses with a frequency of 18 to 50 kHz. With this pulse voltage, it performs further transformations. Let us consider the operation of a simplified circuit of such a power supply. The converter consists of a powerful transistor VT1 and a high-frequency transformer T1. The supply voltage, having passed through the line filter, NF, is rectified by the line rectifier, NR. After ripple smoothing by capacitor C, it is fed through the primary winding of the transformer to the collector of the transistor. When a rectangular pulse from the output of the PWM controller appears on the base of VT1, the transistor opens, causing an increasing current to flow through it and through the primary winding of the transformer. From this, in the secondary winding of the transformer, due to the phenomenon of self-induction, a voltage pulse is also generated, which after rectification by the diode Vd is converted into a constant voltage at the output of the device. Increasing the duration of the pulse on the base of the transistor leads to an increase in the output voltage, and vice versa, decreasing the duration reduces the voltage. The pulse duration is controlled by the feedback voltage at the input of the PWM controller. How to make a battery charger with your own hands. ib_01 car battery charger. In conclusion, creating a homemade device for charging your car battery can be a rewarding and cost-effective solution. By following the steps outlined in this video, you can ensure that your vehicle remains powered without relying on commercial chargers. Remember to prioritize safety and double-check your connections to avoid any mishaps. With a little patience and the right materials, you can successfully build a charger that meets your needs. Thank you for watching, and happy DIYing!